Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. This is John. This report is for the 28th, and of course, you can see the continuation move took place. No surprise with what we see from the readings. Confirmed the crossover of green DOC and also the rising DOC red and shakeout reaching potentially today to positive. So there's the marker that's going to have to remain to the positive side. Any dip below there will definitely be a more of a retrace. We already know now we didn't quite get to positive extremes. We were close. So that meant that there was still enough internal buying that we didn't quite get over the top. And, short cover really less dramatic in this particular case. We'll see if we get a new rebound from shorts as things move. But, once you had this breakout, the expectation was that we would continue with it. And exactly where it's going with it. So, not a surprise. We will want to see a reset, though, of DOC steel. Particularly as it begins towards the start of the month for November, simply because you have new fund money coming in and needs a place to go. And of course, with the Fed completely paralyzed, there you got no alternative but the market. So then your next choice when treasuries are out of the case is crypto and that, and we're going to continue to watch the oil situation, the improvement starting today, but it really becomes a question of getting it back into that lower range to prevent any increase in inflationary pressures. And of course, we're still waiting for the tariff inflation. Yeah, it's been a while, but we're still waiting. So everyone's still expecting that. Maybe one day. Not, but okay. Um, from a euro standpoint, they're still surviving, and the support they've got from the Fed, that is going to keep them plugging away. And of course, if they can move into their bigger deficit spending beyond where they're already at and convince someone to buy those ECB bonds, then they'll continue to do it. They're going to have to foot their own war bill, and that'll be an interesting one. Gold now having refilled most of those positive streams, coming back to its 50%, so logical dip, but still within a short situation. So that hasn't changed. From a Bitcoin standpoint, that you can see we hit that 50% because MBI White still led, even though you were in the move. Now, if Magenta gets above, you're going to end up with your short cover rally. That would be the impetus to push it forward. Also moving to positive on its shakeout. So mimicking what you're seeing from NASDAQ standpoint, and likewise a little bit less enthusiasm here in ETH because it did have Magenta leading, and that was strong enough, but then MBI White has taken over. So you need to see an uptick in that in order to drive that forward as well. So slight difference between the two at this particular stage. From our 50K standpoint, that crossover with the giant move up that we've been signing under red through most of this. We had that brief respite right there right before it happened again. And not that much softness when we dipped below the negative 13. We're seeing that right now, and that did present quite a dip, negative 30 from a DOC steel. That's pretty extreme. That's about as much short activity as you can get within that shorter range. But as soon as it moves back above the negative 13, you're in for another run to the upside. So it's already, built into the setup. So you get an opportunity to relieve your MBI magenta yellow without suffering massive consequence from it, because it's already built in that the DOC steel, when it begins its rise. Now, it could extend its run down there. It doesn't happen that often, but it's potentially possible. Still unlikely. From my earlier 5-minute chart, you can see it was all pretty clean, all straight up action in there. You're going to have to see some kind of decay in that just from an option standpoint. The Asian session was definitely a little bit weaker, and now we're into just mess when the European session is just chopping all over the place. So you would expect that we're going to see some kind of pause to moderate move at this particular stage until we get towards end of month activity, and that'll be interesting. But the volatility for the entire month has been spectacular as expected, and it's gone pretty well for us as far as the readings go. So can't complain about any of that. As always, anything relevant, I'll put it on our team chat. Have a good one. Trade well.